Congo and South Sudan. So, which trade incentives have you put across cross-border trade? Like incentives like custom incentives, trade corridors, and border
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 posts.
border postings.
We have a border post in Oraba. We have a trade border post in Bura here, the Bura border post, and then in the Mahagi. We have URA officials in those two border posts. We have the presence of security in those border posts. This is all to incentivize trade, but also having bilateral discussions and agreements with those borders to make sure that our people are able to move freely and trade freely. Additionally, the road construction connecting West Nile through Nebi to Mahagi is just not a fashion, or it's just not a design. It's a very deliberate move to make our people move their goods to DRC and services to DRC. The same connecting and building up to Oraba, from Kampala to Oraba, is just not a design. It's deliberate for us to be able to access that market of South Sudan. So those are the some of the trade incentives that we put. But most importantly, Ministry of Trade, but with the guidance of President Museveni, is building a West Nile economic zone in Oraba so that the people can be able to go get their tradable goods and take to that free economic zone, and the traders, the consumers from those other bordering countries can come. By the way, as you know that Sudan and South Sudan, they were all one country. So we can say that West Nile borders almost three countries: South Sudan, Sudan, Congo, and so all this is market. As you know that Sudan itself is not peaceful. So they still come to Uganda to buy these goods.
Let's have the last one.
It gives us this positive impact because personally I'm in business. I see that all the people who live in South Sudan, in DRC and South Sudan, they are very grateful for the involvement of UPDF. You know, they make some statements like, we wish President Seven is our president. These are the comments that they make. And we ask why. He said, because the only little peace that we experience in our country, and those of us who live at the border points, like here in the Turi area, Turi, Aru, all those ones, they depend on the peace of the UPDF in Uganda. The ones in that area of Yei up to Juba, it is still, that place is secure. The little peace is because of the peace that has been ushered in by the UPDF. So the UPDF involvement, peace and stability in West Nile, is such a big blessing to the people of West Nile. It has enabled them to do business and trade. However, they will need more support because our children, because of lack of employment, especially those in Koboko, they risk their lives and cross to take passengers to South Sudan. On their way to South Sudan, they get killed all the time. We've lost so many of our children. So they told me to talk to President Museveni, and I did talk to him, and I'm still going to emphasize that UPDF should put them on the corridor lines. The UPDFs who are in South Sudan should be on those corridor lines where our children are driving, dropping these passengers, because they also need that money. But along the way, they get killed. So they need to be protected so that we can enjoy the fruits of UPDF going to pacify DRC, to pacify South Sudan. And yes, it is good that UPDF is in South Sudan and DRC because of their presence, we have been able to continue doing trade. Otherwise, the West Nile market alone is not enough for us to sustain ourselves and our economy. So we need that market. So it's important that we have peace and stability on the other side. When you asked that question, a very important point came in mind. President Museveni, while he's in the region, he has met all the cultural leaders in West Nile. Kings, the cultural heads, the chiefs, and religious leaders. He addressed one issue, which is in line with wealth creation. which was the issue of the River Nile and Lake Albert, resource of fish. Now, we have not been benefiting and harnessing that God given resource of our fish. We actually need fish factories here in West Nile. But immature fishing has been causing us a problem. So President Museveni has agreed with the cultural leaders, religious leaders in West Nile, in the entire West Nile. In West Nile, we have almost over 10 different cultures. We don't even speak a common language. That's why our name is West Nile. It's in English. It's just about the only region in Uganda that has a name in English. Because when the colonialists came here, they found that we are different people. We speak Alur, we speak Lugbara, we speak Okebu, we speak Kakwa, we speak Aringa, we speak Madi, we speak Nubi, we speak Swahili. We're just different people, but united, and we found ourselves in one area. So because of that, we have to get things that unite us. And that's why the president had to call all of them to see how we can harness that fish. So we're going to get the UPDF to protect our water and giving quotas and giving breaks for the water. These are some of the proposals that the elders made to President Museveni.
Okay, let's have your question. Done in other regions. Government giving out capital.
You see, the question you're asking makes me think that West Nile is another country. West Nile is the same country as Uganda. All the incentives in government applies to West Nile. So government incentives of putting money to capitalize people's businesses, big businesses in UDB. There's one person in West Nile who has to access that money. Now, this opens for them the opportunity to get that money. Like the PDM I told you, that's an incentive. Wealth Creation Fund like Imyoga, all of them benefit from it. Peace and stability is an incentive for everyone in West Nile. Access to market is an incentive for everyone. The question you're asking, I can answer you like this: that the people of West Nile, they themselves, have to embrace this business of going into value addition. I started by living by example. I have built the biggest hotel in the whole of northern Uganda. I've gone into manufacturing of textile, the first textile factory in the whole of northern Uganda, not only West Nile, is here in Arua, and I put the factory. Cosmetics, and there's another a cosmetics factory, the biggest and the only one in the whole of West Nile, is here, and I did it. So I know that West Nilers are good in trading. But I've been talking to my friends whom I know have money that let us go into manufacturing. They told me, Anita, the day electricity comes to West Nile, we will start. Now, these big brothers of mine who are very bigger than me, they're big guys. I just don't want to give you names, very big guys. They've been doing business in DRC. Now they want to do value addition here in West Nile. And they've been doing business in South Sudan. Now they want to go in those industrial parks. They're telling me, please allocate for us the land. We're going to start allocating this land to them, and there will be the living testament for the rest of the people who are outside, who are still doubting. Did you know that Arua airfield is the most busiest airfield after Entebbe airport? The most busiest after Entebbe airport. This is because everyone who is doing business in DRC has to pass through Arua. The ones who are doing businesses in Juba and in Sudan, they pass through Arua. So another thing that President Museveni had promised us to do is to build our airport. So when we have this airport built, West Nile bordering the two big markets, South Sudan market and DRC market of 80 million people, we're in business. We will get out of poverty. All these grass thatched houses you will see will disappear, because our people will now be involving themselves in the money economy. And that is what our dream is. And the only way they can achieve that is by supporting one person, President Museveni. If they make a mistake and vote another candidate, too bad. We will lose the peace, The person will not understand us. The person will start from zero to understand the people. The people of West Nile take long to understand their leaders. Very long. That's why they took so long to understand President Seven. I've told you, the vote is just growing like this slowly, slowly. That's why I've told you that this is the first time President Museveni has gotten the huge and the mammoth crowds in the whole of West Nile. This is because the people have finally understood him. Actually, that is not the only industrial park President Museveni wants to give to the people of West Nile. I discussed the issue of industrialization, the fact that the people of West Nile suffered so much because of being in exile, majority don't go to school. It's just important that industrialization is the way to go for them to be able to have employment opportunities. So President Museveni gazetted the industrial park in Koboko around Oraba because the people of South Sudan and Sudan, they all come looking for products from textile to cosmetics products to food products, everything that they need for essential goods, mention it, they will come and buy it from Uganda. And these products, they're made in Kampala, and some of them are outside Kampala. When they reach Koboko, where the people of South Sudan and the people of Koboko themselves and West Nile at large would like to buy them, they become expensive. So because of that, it's better to have these products manufactured in West Nile. And that's why President Museveni says we must have an industrial park in Oraba. They had given a land measuring to 150 acres. I've discussed with their leaders that we should increase this land size to 500 acres so that we have a meaningful industrial park. And we have land in Nebi, where the is a size of 600 acres, where there's going to be an industrial park. President Museveni agreed to that. President Museveni agreed to us having an industrial park in Madiokolo, where we have had 1,200 acres of land. In Yumbe, where we also have land already secured for industrialization, 1,200. Feasibility studies have already been done. The only thing we are left with is now to attract investors to come to West Nile. And the reason why investors were not coming to West Nile was lack of electricity. Now that the electricity is available, peace is available, labor is available. West Nilers are very hardworking people. And people predominantly, when they want labor, they come to West Nile and take them to work in Lugazi, Kakira, Kinyara, all those sugar works. If you go to those factories, even in the factories in Kampala, you'll hear the West Nilers are the ones working there. Because West Nilers are hardworking people. They have been working in factories in Kampala and in other parts of Uganda. But now that these four factories are going to be here in West Nile, the people of West Nile are going to get employment opportunity. But additional to the employment opportunity and the electricity being available, the raw materials available. Did you guys actually know that there's gold in West Nile? There is limestone in West Nile. That West Nile soils are so fertile that the British identified this place as the place for growing tobacco. We were not making money out of tobacco. President Museveni has asked us to get out of tobacco. Our people are now going to the growing of coffee. But we do not want, as West Nile, to grow this coffee and export it out of West Nile without value addition. So with that, those factories coming here, industrial parks, four of them in West Nile, that means that we're going to do value addition on coffee, cocoa, and all the other fruits products here. That one has a question. Lives in West Nile. And this is because of the war in South Sudan, the war in DRC, and the people have all run to West Nile. So the people of West Nile have said, if they run away from President Museveni, who has kept us peacefully for 40 years, are they also going to run to South Sudan where there's war? Are they also going to run to DRC where there's war? No. Let us defend our peace and we join. They used to be in your teams of silent majority, but I want to tell you, they have come out and they're loud. And that's why they've come in those rallies and supporting President Museveni. And we're destined for a big win in West Nile this time round.
Do you have a follow-up question?
My usual answer. So a new government, in their understanding, will be vindictive. So over the years, President Museveni has proven himself to the people of West Nile. Whatever we have asked of him as the people of West Nile, starting with electricity, connecting West Nile to the national grid, he has given it to us. Peace and stability, he has made West Nile very peaceful. Even after taking over power, there were small rebel groups. There were West Nile with bank front, different rebel groups coming here to come and fight his government. But President Museveni worked so hard and signed a peace pact with the people of West Nile. Those who fought him, all those rebels who fought his government, he has not only settled them back home in West Nile, but he has also gone ahead and employed their children, compensated them. He's compensated out of 26 billion that they were asking of him to compensate them for the losses that they made while fighting him. He has given them 17 billion, and he has put more money in the next financial year to compensate them. Another bitterness in West Nile came as a result of the road infrastructure. President Museveni has ensured that he constructed the road from Kampala all the way to Oraba and made sure that the road even in between, which got spoiled after 20 years, he's now gotten another company called China 18 to repair that road. But additionally, he's gotten a construction company for the Yumbe Koboko Road. He's gone ahead and given us money to construct the Nebi Zombo Road. You heard the people of Zombo and Nebi complaining about that road. I want to tell you the Badea Bank has made money available, which is going to be loan that government of Uganda would repay. Money is available by December this year. The contractor will be on ground to start working on that road. The people said this is for the bigger majority. How about themselves? President Museveni has come up with wealth creation funds. The same way he treats the people of Western Uganda and giving 1 billion, 1 billion, 1 billion per parish, 100 million per parish, and 1 million per household. He did it here in West Nile. The people of West Nile, all the parishes in West Nile have been able to receive this 100 million. So the people who received this money started business enterprises, both male and female. And because of that, they've said no. There's no need for them to fight President Museveni. This time, they are going to give him a thank you vote. And that thank you is up to 93% of the votes in West Nile. It is being demonstrated by the fact that they've come up with big numbers. This is unprecedented. This has never happened. I have been here as a child when the first multi-party dispensation came in 1996 when we were voting. I can assure you, President Museveni got 50% of the votes. In the last election, President Museveni got 67%. People have finally understood the issue of wealth creation. They even tell me openly, we are tired of staying in grass thatched houses. If President Museveni's message is to secure their futures, is to protect the gains of peace and stability, which they have they themselves experienced, that ever since he came to power, not a single soul has run to DRC. Not a single soul has run to South Sudan. So that peace that he has given them, they must protect it and defend it. Because they have tested and lived the experience. Uganda is the biggest country that hosts refugees. But that percentage, 90% of that. Okay, who is asking the question? Engre? Engra. Okay.
We have two different sets. He's going to ask a question, then he has like four questions, then you will come after him.
Okay.
Then after that, maybe this will be the last person.
Okay.
Okay. So this one
Okay, is your question
Then,
ready?
then may I
Let's
have
start
one
with
question?
yours as I get
Then
more.
may I have one. As I'm just walking around, you guys will be asking me about the facility. Okay. After this one.
Let's start off with you
we start.
for the investment.
Okay, we
Okay.
start.
Kacha, where do I look from?
All the cameras are looking for your
Even
face.
the voice.
They will trace you.
I have a problem of over campaign has strained my voice, but it's okay. I can increase. Yes. Who's asking?
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are the Silent Majority Media team, and of course, we're here with the minister, and we shall ask a few questions about West Nile region. I'll start off with my brother. Please kick off.
Honorable, WestNile Region has managed to pull off the biggest gathering. How did you manage to pull it off?
That's very true. First of all, the people of West Nile are self-mobilized. If as much as we have tried to talk to them, but it's this time more than us mobilizing them so hard, they have mobilized themselves because of the work that President Museveni has done. So what am I saying? President Museveni has invested in the people of West Nile. He even told them, the first time I came to West Nile, I threw you dry meat and you thought that it was a bone and you ran away from the dry meat. But the people took that message to understand that actually President Museveni is not joking. He's here for a fundamental change. And in the beginning, when President Museveni came to power in 1986, the people did not fully embrace his government. It took President Museveni himself to go up to Yei to ask the people of West Nile that please come back home. I have not come here to hurt you. I have come to protect you for us to have a peaceful Uganda for all of us. He went and sent vehicles to South Sudan, sent vehicles to DRC to return the people back because the people were fearing that they were in the government of Idi Amin. Happy to hear that. So what are you doing? What business are you doing?
I'm an industrial psychologist.
Okay.
Farming is one of the major drivers from World Food Program. Shows that only 30% West Nile arable land. I don't know. The government has been pushing how far government.
It's so sad that our people have not embraced agriculture so much, and yet they have fertile soils. And this is not only for West Nile alone, the entire Uganda. We have to go into commercial agriculture. Our people like to do small scale farming. And even when we chose, first of all, the colonialists gave us a wrong advice by making us to choose tobacco. Now, tobacco is a cash crop, it's not a food crop. It cannot even feed your children at home. And even when you do the chura or the, like the president says, the chibalo, you will not get money. So those figures are right. We have a saying here in West Nile that imyozo to pass, meaning that you're stepping on the rain, which could be able to help you to make you to get food crops. You're stepping with it with your legs. So don't step on those rains with your legs. Go and dig and get something meaningful out of your gardens. But do you know what they moved? Some of them, even that 30%, they're doing big scales of marunji. They're growing it. So we need to get them out. It's an issue of mindset. So government is doing the mindset education through NARO, through NADS, telling them that there is no money you'll get out of marunji. There's nothing that you'll get out of tobacco. You have to come to cocoa, coffee, and all the other food crops, the cereals that you can grow and get money. So it's still a lot of work for us. But as leaders in West Nile, we have a lot of work to do. And I told you that a lifestyle of a trader is not a lifestyle of an agriculturist. So we need to change their mind from not only doing trade to also being agriculturists. We're merchandise. That is just us. We like to trade. Even myself, I thought that I was not a trader until I just saw the talent popping up because my mother and my father, they're all business people. So the talent just pops up and you find yourself, but because of exposure and education, then you're able to diversify and go into manufacturing and go into industrialization. But agriculture, I want to tell you, it's a tall order for us. We have to do a lot of mindset education, and I'm happy that Ministry of Agriculture, with the support of President Museveni, is doing that to change the minds of the people and making them to go into those strategic agricultural products.
As you say bye bye, Honorable, I'll be selfish and have the last question. What should people of Koboko and West Nile at large expect from NRM this coming 5 years?
But I've answered all those ones. Did I?
You did.
I did, boss. I answered.
You were speaking.